Hey guys, this is GEEKAMANIA. We're your hosts, Mark.
Hey Matt, hey guys.
I'm Michael, and that's Ben.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, and what are we doing?
We are doing top 5 gaming soundtracks.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. We might be revisiting an old thing, but we thought, as we've got Mikey here and we're now on the camera since the last time we did this, thought we'd do it again.
I wanted to give a top 5 a shot.
Right, so, where should we start? Should we start with Mark?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Well, actually, no, should we start with Mikey? Because he's the person who's on this show as
If you
today.
want to throw in the deep end, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Mikey.
My top 5 gaming soundtracks, not in order. I put Halo, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
No.
You're revealing them too quick. You
Yeah.
just start off with one.
You start with what? You go Halo.
And then we talk about
You
it.
talk about it.
Have you just
Halo.
never seen this show? Halo. Which Halo?
Maybe,
Because they do differentiate slightly.
let's say Halo 1.
Are you going for the original? That's, yeah, I prefer Halo 3s. I prefer Halo 3s.
And why
I feel it's much more...
But Halo 1's the original.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's always the best. Look at Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But no, it's a good soundtrack, definitely.
And why do you like the sound of them, Mikey? Give us your reasons.
It's just like a mellow soundtrack. Just like voices going, oh.
It ramps up when it needs to. It's good. It's lovely and floaty and fits
It
well
has
for
good
the
vibe to it.
sci-fi theme.
Gets you
and
in
builds
the
up
zone
for
to
the
play the
action. It's like, yes, I am the master chef. Right, my number 5, a game that's very near and dear to my heart, Ratchet and Clank, specifically Ratchet and Clank 1, is one of my favourite games ever made by anything, ever. And the music's a big part of that. It's just, I still have the Metropolis theme stuck in my head to this day, and I've not even played Ratchet and Clank for years and years and years, and that song has endured. So good, and the guns and the blasting and the sounds all good, and the music.
Sing it for us, Ben.
No, I am not your performing
The
monkey.
audience want to know what it sounds like.
Well, if they want to know, then simply just YouTube. There's a search bar up there. You can just click in Metropolis Ratchet and Clank.
You want to give other videos our views.
Hey, I want to give Ratchet and Clank as much attention as it could get. Because that game series is amazing.
My number 5 is Double Dragon from the NES. That is a great soundtrack, and it's one of those games. Yeah, the game was all right, but the soundtrack for me is what makes it so good. With the it has quite an iconic soundtrack, and even when it was made by Double Dragon Neon, the new game that came out, there's a remix, so you can still tell it's Double Dragon. It's been around for years. One of my favourite soundtracks. Good game.
I honestly can't recognise it.
That's probably because you never really played Double Dragon, have you?
I have. I just didn't like it that much.
I've never heard of it.
You've never even heard of it.
It's
That's a step below.
it's a very old school game. It was made in the late 80s, so...
Right, well, your 4th one that's in no particular order.
Yeah.
My 4th one that's in no particular order is Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King,
That's a bit of a cheat.
because that's the only one I had.
You're piggybacking off of an amazing film soundtrack. It's like, oh yeah, that's great. Because it is a stunning soundtrack.
It was even a stunning
admittedly.
soundtrack.
Yeah, it was.
I was about to start doing the Jurassic Park theme, don't worry.
Is you about to do the dress?
Yeah.
Because that's what first comes to mind with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, well, they both cut out the beginning sound like each other. So
The first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Lord of the Rings soundtrack is they're taking the hobbits to Isengard. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Guard. It's a very stupid, like, techno remix.
Dubstep.
It's not dubstep, it's techno.
Yeah.
Get it right!
Damn.
Right.
Stop being horrible to Mikey.
I'll be horrible to whoever I want, Mark.
Ben.
Just saying my name funny doesn't qualify as an insult.
Ben.
My number 4 is Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. It's really, really haunting soundtrack. That game scares the crap out of me so much.
Why play it?
Pardon?
Why play it then?
Because it has beautiful whimsy as well. and that like all of the ocarina songs, and then you're a gorn, and it's drums. When you're a
It's magic.
Deku, it's trumpets, and it's lovely. I love it.
That's one of the only ones I never played was that one. Never played.
Which is why you suck.
My number, cheers, Mikey. My number 4 is Sonic the Hedgehog 1. It's the game that I can go back to, and I love the soundtrack. I even love the soundtrack so much. I even have it on my phone. The soundtrack to that game is amazing.
Sonic 2 was better.
Nah, mate, Sonic 1 you had Green Hill Zone, Labyrinth Zone, Spring Yard Zone, Scrap Brain Zone, Dr. Robotnik Theme, Final Zone.
See, they're all good songs, but they're just not as good as Chemical Plant Zone.
Chemical
You can't
Plant.
beat Chemical Plant Zone's music.
No,
It's
but Green
so
Hill Zone is
awesome.
but Green Hill. Yeah, Chemical Plant Theme.
Oh,
I do
Green
love
Hill-
that song, but Green Hill Zone is so iconic. As well.
I know it's iconic, but it's not better.
No,
Ah,
I disagree with you there, mate. Green Hill Zone for the win. No.
It's another
Yeah,
game.
no, you've completely messed it up there.
Yeah.
Whereas I can do Chemical Plant Zone. What are you doing there? No, Chemical Plant Zone is way better. It's way more electronic and funky. It's like dun 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 dun. It's much better,
I'm
and
confused
you
as
guys
much as
you probably are, and we're doing terrible renditions. Just know that Chemical Plant Zone is the best one, and that's the one you should be listening to.
No, Green Hill Zone or Scrap Yard Zone. That was a great one as well.
You see,
Or
you can't-
even, like the Marble Zone reminds me of a song.
So you can't even decide on one song in your game. I'm concrete.
That's why I went for the whole game.
I know. That's why you're wrong.
Mikey,
mine
what's your number 3 in general?
In
number?
no particular
Order.
No particular order. Number 3 is Mario Kart Double Dash.
Which is brilliant.
Because when you're driving it, there's just great music in the background, and it just gets you in the zone to race.
Oh mate, Mario Kart has some great soundtracks. Like from Super Mario Kart. Did you ever guys play Super Mario Kart? It was the one Cooper Beach. That had a beautiful soundtrack.
we're not talking about that. We're talking about Double Dash, which is
Yeah, but I'm just saying in general. Like you mentioned Sonic 2, so I'm just saying in general. You know that.
Well, you're wrong here. Double Dash is the best one. Brilliant version of Rainbow Road.
I remember an
Amazing
awesome
version
level.
of Rainbow Road.
Great soundtrack.
My number 3 is Persona 4, which is a game that neither of you will have heard of. No, it's a Japanese RPG, and the soundtrack's just really, really good.
No, I thought no, not before.
No, what are you thinking of?
No, can't
No,
think.
but no, it's just again, it's one of those games where the soundtrack makes so much impact for the level design and just creates all the emotion you need, and the song standalone as well. And most recently, they made a fighting game with remixes of it, and those are all very good as well.
You made it
All
then?
very good.
Persona.
Atlas,
They make very good games.
like testing your
Uh,
knowledge.
That game where you play as some weird. I remember one of my friends played it. Some weird vampire person thing. He had like weird wings. He wore some ridiculous like scar thing. It was like it was kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics in a sense.
I have no idea what
Was
it
it Devil May Cry?
He's not from the sound of it. No. They
I
made
told you.
Catherine. You'll know Catherine.
Yeah, no, Catherine.
But yeah,
Have you ever heard of Catherine, Mike? Catherine's a game where you.
it's weird. It's about dreams. Move on.
It's about dreams and you like dream about if you go with a hot woman or your girlfriend.
Your number 3.
My number 3 is Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters.
Is
I know, Ninja Turtles game, but the soundtrack to that game was awesome and it was made by Konami, so that they're known for good
Konami do
soundtracks.
good, decent music.
And the music to that game, I chose it over the NES game probably because I have both soundtracks on my
Because
phone.
the NES game's terrible.
The NES game isn't terrible. The NES game is
Pretty
good
bad.
fun. But
It's really
I enjoy
bad.
that soundtrack because and some of the songs are quite iconic and it's just Ninja Turtles and I just love that soundtrack. Like back at it.
All of these songs so far that you've sung sound exactly the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Are we sure this isn't Green Hill Zone? Or...
No. And it's just the music just works so well for the levels and it just adds so much more atmos to the game as well. Just brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant.
Crisp.
Mikey, so what is your number 2 in no particular order?
My number 2.
Your number 2.
Your number 2?
Oh, we're working down, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 2 in no particular order is FIFA 12. Because they play, like, on the homepage for the start team.
Right.
The page where you press start to play. It's got, like, old charts for the, carry on, Ben.
See,
You're gonna say
the good
something.
thing about FIFA 12 is that you can choose which songs play and which don't.
Yeah.
The bad thing about FIFA 12 is if you're Ben and you have Ben's music taste, all of those songs end up turned off because they're all terrible. Really, really bad
I thought
song
FIFA
choices.
98 and 99 had a good soundtrack.
I have an enduring memory of a football game. I can't remember which one, but it was probably Pez. But there was one song which literally just went football soccer, football soccer, football soccer, greatest of them all. And that's literally the song. Football games have terrible soundtracks. Why are we putting this on here?
Because it's
And
what
you could
Mikey
be-
likes.
No wonder
'cause-
FIFA 12 is better than Pez.
Ben, what's your number 2?
When you could have an amazing soundtrack based around a game where a 12-year-old chases around monkeys with a laser net. Ape Escape 2. It's an amazing soundtrack. It's so happy. Everything is so happy. And the monkey sounds and the little fucking laser nets and lightsabers which are just stun clubs and
So it's Star Wars
memories.
but monkey version.
It's Star Wars, but Japanese, and you have to catch adorable monkeys, which are also insane, frustrating, and hard. It's really fun. I like it. And the music's great. It fits all levels, and it makes you so happy. It's so happy.
That sounds cool.
It's like Dr. Pepper. It just makes me happy.
It makes you crazy.
It's Dr.
Yeah,
Pepper for my ears.
it makes him crazy. My number 2 is Super Street Fighter 2. That has so many iconic songs that, you know, if I played it to probably you two now, one of the songs you probably would recognise it. Mikey might not, but Ben definitely would. A lot of other people would. Like, for example, Ryu's theme is so iconic to Street Fighter, everyone knows it.
Yeah, no, this is the bit where Sonic comes along the screen and spin dashes, yeah?
Yeah. But, you know, it is.
We didn't go for the way more iconic theme, which is Guile's
Oh, yeah,
theme.
Giles.
That one sounds a little bit different, at least. Right, stop singing, Mark. I agree, it's a good game. Quickly,
And also,
Michael.
as well, Mikey, it's so iconic, Giles film that they've even had a video that says Giles goes at everything. Like, picture something, picture...
Because that joke isn't overdone.
Yeah, it is overdone, but picture, like, for example, you've got, like, the scene where Mufasa gets killed in Lion King. That they added that to it. They added some random scene from Titanic. Maybe added so much stuff to it. It's like,
Some random scene from Titanic.
Yeah.
Just like the one where they're just literally sitting at a dinner table drinking champagne. No, it's not some random one. They've done it to the interesting and iconic ones, you bloody idiot.
I haven't seen it. The last time I saw it, I passed out because I passed out while I was watching it. That's the last time I saw it.
You passed out from the amazingness and the sheer depth of camera.
But I was
brilliance.
highly
And
drunk
the
at the time, even
freaking
though I
lame.
am now straight edge.
So it was your birthday?
It was like a couple of years. It was, but yeah, I think it was around my birthday. Yeah.
Right, your number one, which isn't really your number one, but is the final game that you were talking about, Michael.
My number 1, which is my final game I was talking about, is, and Ben will like this, it's Pokemon Colosseum.
Agreed. It's good.
Yeah,
It
played
actually ties in quite well to my number one.
That's good.
Because my number one is Pokemon Leaf Green,
Shit.
which is basically the updated version of Red and Blue with
And they have
updated soundtracks.
They have some great music though. Those games.
But yeah, the battle music from Pokemon Colosseum especially, I really like the battle music. It's so nice. Even if the game is really weird and creepy at times, and one of the bosses is a man with a giant Pokeball afro, that was weird. But the music's very good at least.
Mate,
But
it's Japanese. What do you expect? They're known for
I
being quite bizarre and
expect
weird.
less Pokemon afros. But yeah,
It'd be
and
cool if they had a Pikachu afro.
no, that'd be dumb. That'd be even more dumb.
That'd be hilarious if actually someone around said like someone with a Pikachu afro. That'd be so funny.
But yeah, for me, Leaf Green is brilliant because it just updates all of the classic songs from Red and Blue and just updates the fidelity and changes them
it's upset
slightly.
to them.
What?
What?
Dubstep wasn't even around. You've been tainted by your stupid football games, which I hate. Also, on an unrelated note, Ape Escape 2 has the best football game I've ever played in it. Monkey football.
Gotta play this shit.
It's beautiful.
And my number one.
It's beautiful.
My number one is GTA Vice City. That has an amazing soundtrack.
That's just because it steals other songs from people who actually have talent.
Yeah,
Unlike people at Rockstar.
Yeah, but at the same
No.
time though, like it is a great soundtrack. It's atmos to it. Some of the songs I always listen to Emotion. That's the best Rojo.
That's just because you have a hard on for the 80s.
80s were a good time, man.
I
Had some
don't
good
care
stuff.
about them because I wasn't
wasn't around.
existing.
Michael wasn't around, but
I wasn't around.
all right then. Rather than Vice City, then.
Sure.
No, Mark, it's yours. You're entitled to your opinion, no matter how stupid and incorrect it is.
Thanks, man. Yes.
Just like
Yes.
I'm entitled to my opinion, that your opinion is stupid and incorrect,
Yes.
even if that
And
is
so-
actually accurate.
And squared as well.
Hmm?
But the same way.
And squared, so
Yeah.
you feel it times
I'm
by
in the middle of
itself. How can you times the feeling of someone having their opinion be right by itself? That doesn't make mathematical sense,
Actually,
Mark.
no.
You're dumb.
No, I changed my number one. I'll probably put in Super Mario Brothers 1.
You
Because
could-
that is so iconic, and when anyone hears the they
They think of Sonic spin dashing through
yeah,
Green Hill Zone.
they always know it's Mario, and even 25 to 30 years later, basically they still use that song, and they still use those songs from those games, and it's just a brilliant game soundtrack, and so iconic, so lovely. I love that song.
If there's one thing I can agree with you on, it is that Miyamoto knows his music.
Yes,
It's very
he
good.
does. Very Legend of Zelda, great soundtrack. Metroid, a good soundtrack. And then again, he didn't really make Metroid. It was Yokoi.
Anyway,
That was GEEKAMANIA, guys. So
yeah, I guess as usual, that's Michael.
Michael.
that's a Ben.
You were supposed to say that's Mark, Michael. Ruined everything.
That's
Oh!
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Goes to this.
Bye.
Goes to this website.
That was cool.